Clay Buccholz, Johan Santana, and Steven Strasburg. Let's start with Buchholz. Red Sox got the news now that he has stress fractures in his back. We're talking about this on the day that Eric Bedard makes his Red Sox debut tonight after a bad John Lackey start. I'm bringing you into Boston and what everybody's talking about here today. But the stress fractures in Clay Buccholz's back. Your initial thoughts, your thoughts of his chances of being back to pitch in the playoffs possibly or not?
You know, they're optimistic that he's going to be back maybe even for the end of the regular season, but this takes a little bit longer for pitchers. You saw with David Wright, it cost him two months when he went out with a similar injury, and it's a little bit longer for pitchers. You know, they put more torque on that back. They really have to focus on strengthening those muscles so that it doesn't become a reoccurring thing. Buchholz is a great guy, but I think the focus in Boston is going to be the postseason. So the likelihood of them protecting him for the remainder of the regular season and hopefully having him healthy for the postseason is where their focus is going to be. You know, I'd stash him on your disabled list in fantasy if you're able to, but if you have to look elsewhere, if you're fighting for a playoff spot, it may be time to look elsewhere and try to snag somebody up.
The last question is Santana and Strasburg, two similar guys because they've been injured, but two completely different guys. Strasburg just starting his career, Santana after all those innings hanging on and coming back from an injury. But Santana has started to pitch again, got everybody in the Mets organization excited about maybe even coming back this year. To me, the real question fantasy-wise about Johan Santana or Strasburg is which one's going to return to form or which one's going to be the better fantasy player next year, and how do you handle that situation if you either have him or trying to trade for him or whatever?
I'm going Strasburg. You know, he's scheduled for a rehab assignment this weekend, so he could be back even this season. He could be a sneaky addition, you know, for strikeouts and low ERA if you can pick him up in a league. Definitely roster him in a keeper league because he's going to be fine. I think going next year, he's got, you know, devastating stuff. He's shown to be a top elite pitcher when he's healthy, and so far he hasn't had any kind of setbacks. Unfortunately, Johan has, and he suffered a setback in his rehab, trying to come back from that capsulorrhaphy to repair a torn anterior capsule in his shoulder. And this surgery can be a career killer. You know, you see a guy like Mark Pryor undergo it. Chen-Ming Wong of the Nationals underwent it 2 years ago and is just now returning to the bigs. So, you know, suffering a setback, the Mets would be wise to shut him down, focus on next year. And I don't think he's going to be a fantasy contributor this year.